Hi there, and welcome to SunnyDazePodcast at jollyville.com. That's JALEAVILLE.com. I'm your host, Jolly, and at Sunny Days Podcast, our joy is to share a few heartwarming, light, and uplifting stories, as well as a birthday or anniversary or two, a little entertainment news, and more. I'm glad to get to share some feel good minutes with you. So grab a cup of sunshine and let's get started. Our first story today comes from Fayetteville, Georgia, in a story we're calling A Christmas Comeback. The Christmas spirit will soon be on display in Fayetteville yet again after a fire destroyed hundreds of thousands of dollars in decorations 3 months ago. Mike and Gwen Gaddy's has been bringing Christmas joy to Fayetteville for over 36 years. Miss Leanne Harper has been visiting the Gaddy's light display as an annual family tradition, and she said we pick one night of the week in December. We all get in the car in their Christmas jammies, we get milkshakes, and the first stop of our Christmas light tour is the city of Gaddyville. Well, back in August, the Gaddy's yearly tradition went dark after that fire destroyed everything. Said Mike Gaddy, well, I guess the Christmas decorations are over. All of the wires are burnt up. Everything's devastated. I just didn't see any way we could get it to go again, he said. That was until they found out they had friends, lots of friends in Fayetteville. After being posted about the damage on social media, it was one Christmas miracle after another. People were like, according to Miss Harper, what do you need? What can we get you? The community turned a blue Christmas into a new Christmas. Neighbors started bringing food by decorating, and by donating and by rallying the whole neighborhood. Gwen said, well, we didn't want to get money, so we set up like a registry for just materials. And I'm telling you, in 4 or 5 days, we had a whole room full of materials, and we got to work. She continued, it's become such a part of our life. It would feel very empty not to be here. And being here is a requirement because it takes 3 months to set up their acres of decoration. It is one of the biggest lighting displays in Fayetteville. Now it's back just in time for the holidays. Miss Harper's daughter, Autumn, 10, can't wait to see it. She said, the Gaddies, it's very exciting and it's very big, her 10-year-old self said. She and her brother Ethan said it's their favorite stop on the tour. Gwen says that's what makes losing what they held so near and dear after having to go through the rubble and rebuild it again. That's what makes it all worthwhile. She said, I have a refreshed view of humanity because we're living it right now. Her son even rebuilt their famous ho 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 sign. We don't even know how to thank everyone, Gwen said. We could have never completed this without all of their help. What a wonderful way. What a wonderful way for the community to get together. A very sunny, Merry Christmas to you, Fayetteville, Georgia. And our next story comes from Homewood, Illinois, called Hot Chocolate Day. Mara and Kayla Winfrey have been selling homemade hot chocolate out of their garage every year since they were little like 2 and 4 years old. And they're not little anymore. They're in their 20s now. And our neighbor says, Kayla, well, they're ready for it every year. They expect it sort of. They start asking back in October, when's it going to be? And all this time, they just raise the money. The girls raise the money for Toys for Tots. They go shopping with the proceeds right after they have their event, picking out toys to help make Christmas a little bit joyous for the kiddos. The first year, the sisters made $50, and every year since then, it's grown. With their biggest last year being raising $11,000. People are very generous, said Mar. We have been blown away with what people have offered. They started out selling it for a quarter a cup. Now they don't charge, and people just donate whatever amount they like. It's a pretty big production. Mom gets involved, dad gets involved behind the scenes. According to Dad Dave, we're very proud of them. It's their way of giving back and paying it forward. Great job, girls. Keep up your awesome community cheer. A very sunny Merry Christmas to Homewood. And now, a happy birthday to one Miss Monique Lane, a teacher, a healer, a therapist, a coach, and so much more. Described by close friends as a tiny person with a mighty soul on this planet. Miss Monique turned 80 years old this month. Whether she's here in the United States, teaching, sharing, and healing, or organizing a journey to Ecuador to help train and heal even more people, Miss Monique has a wonderful saying. Remember, be kind to yourself. It will naturally follow that you will be kind to others. So very true. On her website, she provides Zoom sessions. She has many podcasts going. Miss Monique stays super busy, coaching, teaching, and presenting. Thanks, Miss Monique, for all the wonderful energy you add to this world. And a very, very happy, sunny birthday to you. And now, some did you know facts. A few things about Christmas time. So here's an interesting one. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, he also invented the Christmas lights, along with his partner and friend, Edward H. Johnson. In 1880, they first illuminated their laboratory in New Jersey during Christmas time. And how about the largest gingerbread house ever made? Well, it was as big as an actual house, and it was made with 1,800 pounds of butter, 7,200 eggs, 3,000 pounds of sugar, 7,200 pounds of flour, and over 22,000 pieces of candy. Holy cannoli. Incredible. And what about the largest snowflake ornament ever seen? Is over 10 feet tall. It was created by Universal Studios in Japan in 2019. And the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time? Home Alone. The record is followed by How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And guess how many trees are grown each year in the United States? Approximately 77 million. And that's about 1 million acres of land planted with Christmas trees each year. Wow. And Lego, being one of the most popular gift sets, sells around 28 sets every second during the Christmas holiday. And finally, December the 26th, the day after Christmas, is celebrated as National Candy Cane Day. And now something new by Sunny Days Podcast, Storytime by Jolly Chat. And today's story is Ophelia and Gunnar, Surprise Santa. Once upon a time, in the magical land of the North Pole, where snowflakes danced in the air and auroras painted the sky, there lived the oldest elf named Ophelia. Ophelia was wiser than the oldest trees and had twinkles of knowledge in her ancient eyes. By her side, for countless winters, was Gunnar, her trusty helper. Gunnar, a sprightly elf with a white beard that matched the snow, had been with Ophelia since the time Rudolph was a young fawn. As the frosty winds announced the arrival of December, a festive excitement enveloped the North Pole. The elves were bustling with joy, for they were planning a grand surprise birthday party for none other than Santa himself. That was no easy task to keep secrets in such a close-knit community like the North Pole. But Ophelia and Gunnar, well, they were masters of discretion. The elves worked in secrecy, wrapping gifts, baking cookies, and decorating the workshops with tinsel and twinkling lights. Ophelia and Gunnar oversaw the preparations with a twinkle in their eyes, making sure every detail was perfect. They knew that Santa had a knack for discovering surprises, and this one had to be the best kept secret in the history of the North Pole. Days turned into nights, and the magical moment drew near. Ophelia and Gunnar managed to divert Santa's attention with tales of snowstorms in distant lands and new toy inventions as the clock ticked away. Anticipation filled the frosty air. On the eve of Santa's birthday, the elves gathered around the Christmas tree in the heart of the North Pole. The flickering lights cast a warm glow on the excited faces of the little helpers. Ophelia and Gunnar exchanged knowing glances, their hearts filled with joy. Suddenly, the workshop door kicked open, and in walked Santa, his eyes twinkling with curiosity. Miss Claus followed, a mischievous smile playing on her lips. The elves held their breath as Santa's eyes darted around, searching for clues. But the surprise was too well guarded, and Santa's eyes widened in astonishment as the elves erupted in a chorus of happy birthday. The workshop echoed with cheers, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of celebration. Santa, Mrs. Claus, Ophelia, Gunnar, and all the elves gathered around a crackling fire. They laughed and shared stories and sipped hot chocolate from festive mugs. The reindeer, drawn by the merriment, joined the circle, their hoofs softly padding on the snow. Under the glow of the northern lights, Santa beamed with joy, touched by the love and effort put into the surprise. Ophelia and Gunnar exchanged a proud look, knowing they had pulled off the most magical surprise in the North Pole history. As the night unfolded, they reveled in the warmth of friendship and the spirit of Christmas, a celebration that transcended time in the enchanted land at the top of the world. The end. And now, time for some entertainment news. And our news from the music world is, well, huge. The beautiful and wonderfully talented Miss Taylor Swift has been named Time's Person of the Year. There is so much to Miss Swift that I could talk for hours just on some of her accomplishments. So I thought I'd go with just a few fun facts about Miss Swift. First of all, at the age of 34, she is an award winning artist with a total of, at this current time, 12 Grammys. Among other awards, might I add, her debut album, Taylor Swift, was released in 2006. Another fact, Miss Taylor is known for writing her own songs, and she has a very dedicated fan base called the Swifties. And did you know Taylor voiced the role of Audrey in The Lorax 2012? Her film debut was actually in 2010 with a movie called The Valentine's Day. And she had a small role in the film The Giver in 2014. Miss Taylor Swift is also known to be one of the most charitable celebrities, giving from hurricanes to music productions in schools and universities around the United States. Miss Taylor is a strong advocate for artist rights and women's empowerment. And a very, very sunny congratulations to you, Miss Taylor Swift. That is a brief mention of so much that you do. And now on to the movie industry. And let's look into 2024 and see what we've got coming. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire will be arriving. We don't have a lot of confirmed details about this sequel, except that the director, Jason Reitman, has been replaced by Gil Kinnan. He did Monster House and Poltergeist 2015. He also co-wrote Afterlife. We also know that the stars Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, Finn Wolfhard, and Paul Rudd will be returning. We know that the film setting will indeed be in New York and the firehouse from the original films, which was kind of teased at the end of Afterlife. Oh, yay. Good movie. Also, guess what's coming? Garfield with Chris Pratt and Samuel L. Jackson. After Chris Pratt voiced Mario, we waited for another voice to come, and here it is. He'll be voicing everyone's favorite lasagna-loving, Monday-hating cat Garfield in a new movie adaptation of the long-running comic strip. Samuel L. Jackson will voice Vic, Garfield's father. Okay, I can't wait to see it. So, as we come to the close of today's episode, let's remember that the stories we've shared can share as a reminder of the goodness that surrounds us every day. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, find your beauty, shine, and share it. Remember to spread love, joy, and positivity whenever and wherever you go. So, see you next week for more stories, entertainment news, fun facts, and more. Until then, peace and love always. And thank you for tuning in to the Sunny Days podcast at jollyville.com. That's JALEAVILLE.com.